Thought I'd talk about the Akutagawa Prize and the sort of controversy that has been going on around it. It doesn't seem like it's been too much, admittedly, of a controversy, because not that I've seen people just reporting on it, which is like, why would you just not give your own opinion on this? Because it seems very, it's like worth a discussion or debatable, but clearly for some reason it's not. I'm not too worked up about it, or I don't feel down. Even if you think by my voice I'm depressed over it. No, I'm depressed by other things. This is just probably adds on to that. But that's just the reality. But I think what made things, it was good timing because I'm currently reading Murakami Haruki's Novelist as a Vacation book, where he sort of gives a rundown about his career in writing. It's really fascinating, and I would highly recommend it alongside Chuck Palahniuk's. He did a book that I remember reading about writing, and that was also really helpful as well. So I decided to read Murakami's book again for my birthday last year. And funnily enough, I just had my birthday this year, so time is just getting away from me as usual. But anyway, there's this Japanese author called Rie Kudan, I believe, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, because I'm Japanese, so I should be able to. Or Kudan Rie, because in Japan the surname comes first, usually. But she wrote a book that won the last year's Akutagawa Prize, which is, by the way, Japan's most prestigious literary award. She used the help of ChatGPT to write her book. And so usually something like that would be up for debate, like how can you win that it's like, does that verify someone's win? I don't think so. But I guess we could read it through together. So this is from CNN. Hopefully me reading it will give you a clearer idea of what this is, and then I will read a bit of Murakami's book that talked about the Akutagawa Prize, and I read that coincidentally on the day that I found out the winner, which wasn't like I that into Japanese literary fiction. I mean, my mum read it in the newspaper and she was like, have you seen this? A girl wrote AI. And we're using AI, and obviously most things to do with AI in the news I have absolutely no interest in. It's just not a topic that I know it's important, and I know it's like one of the biggest crises threatening humanity as we know it. And I don't mean to make a doomsday speech right there, but that's what people are saying. It's like one of the biggest threats. It should be treated as much as a threat as terrorism or a dictatorship or whatever. And I agree with that. It's not like I disagree, but for some reason when people just start talking about AI or artificial intelligence or Bitcoin or any of that kind of stuff, my eyes just sort of glaze over. Because there's nothing I can do about it. So obviously except just I could worry about it, spend hours just worrying about it, but I'm not sure I want to do that. So I genuinely just stay away from news of that sort. But obviously this is, in terms of AI, is I guess trying to be a positive thing, but in the end it's not really positive because it's cheating, to put it bluntly. This is cheating. So I guess I'll stop waffling on and I'll read the article for you. After Japanese author Rie Kudan won one of the country's most prestigious literary awards, she admitted she had help from an unusual source, ChatGPT. Quote, I plan to continue to profit from the use of AI in the writing of my novels while letting my creativity express itself to the fullest, said the 33-year-old, who was awarded the Akutagawa Prize for Best Work of Fiction by a promising new writer on Wednesday. The author then confirmed at a press conference that around 5% of her book, quote, the Tokyo Tower of Sympathy, I should say it properly, Tokyo Tower of Sympathy, which is lauded by committee members as practically flawless, quote, was word for word generated by AI. The novel centres around the dilemmas of an architect tasked with building a comfortable high-rise prison in Tokyo where lawbreakers are rehabilitated, and it features AI as a theme. Kudan said that in her own life she would consult ChatGPT about problems she felt she couldn't tell anyone. Quote, when the AI did not say what I expected, she said, I sometimes reflected my feelings in the lines of the main character. The author is not the first artist to generate controversy. Again, where is the controversy? Give me proof of the controversy. Like, I know there obviously are going to be people opposing this, but as far as I've seen, no one's really been vocal about it. Like, the whole judging panel called it flawless. Yeah, of course it's going to be flawless. It wasn't assisted by AI. Like, we are literally proving the reason why AI is, like, we should be worried about it because you can't tell what is real and what is not. At least she was being honest about it. I guess if she wasn't honest and she entered the competition, and then it turned out she'd used AI, I guess that would generate more controversy, but I guess if she was open about it. But still, I feel like the whole Akutagawa Prize, based on when I read Murakami's book, is just so old-fashioned and, to me, it's like Murakami's genuinely expressed his discomfort with it, so I doubt that would be, like, progressive. Like, most literary prizes and, like, all those, like, they're very traditional in the way they do things, and so I'm really surprised that this has been allowed. Maybe there's been a change of hands, and the judging panel might be younger people now, because obviously Japan's an ageing population, people are dying, and so maybe this is just, like, because just proof of, like, what they need to do. But literally underneath it, it says, as an example, last year, Berlin-based photographer Boris Eldergersen withdrew from the Sony World Photography Awards after revealing his winning entry in the creative photo category was created using the technology. So there we go, like, that example is, like, comparing it to someone who won. Like, this person withdrew, so that is not a good comparison. CNN, well, I don't think many people trust CNN anyway. They're not very a good reputable news site. At the risk of causing offence, I should state the obvious. The Akutagawa Prize is just another literary award presided over by the Bunge Shunju publishing house. Its purpose may not be strictly commercial, but it would be folly to pretend that Bunge Shunju's bottom line is not involved. But be that as it may, as someone who has been a novelist for a long time, it is my experience that a new writer whose work deserves close attention comes along only once every 5 years or so. Maybe once every 3 years, if we relax our standards. The Akutagawa Prize, on the other hand, is handed out twice a year, which means its quality tends to be watered down. Though I have no argument with that, prizes can be seen as congratulatory gifts aimed at encouraging new writers, providing an entry point for more rookies. It does make me wonder about the circus atmosphere the media creates each time around. Looked at objectively, it all seems out of proportion. What is originality? That's a hard question to answer. When we say that a work of art is, quote, original, what exactly do we mean? What are its qualifications? These kinds of questions only make us more and more confused when we try to answer them head on. Quote, originality is a living, evolving thing whose shape is devilishly hard to pin down. In my opinion, an artist must fulfill the following 3 basic requirements to be deemed, quote, original. 1. The artist must possess a clearly unique and individual style of sound, language, or colour. Moreover, that uniqueness should be immediately perceivable on first sight or hearing. 2. That style must have the power to update itself. It should grow with time, never resting in the same place for so long, since it expresses an internal and spontaneous process of self-invention. Over time, that characteristic style should become integrated within the psyche of its audience, to become a part of their basic standard of evaluation. Subsequent generations of artists should see that style as a rich resource from which they can draw. An artist need not fill all 3 requirements equally, of course, to be considered, quote, original. There are cases where requirements 1 and 3 are clear, while 2 is a little weak, or where 2 and 3 are clear but 1 is somehow lacking. Nevertheless, it is fair to say that the basic components of, quote, originality can, to a greater or lesser degree, be found within these boundaries.